Hey, what do you say in about a month or two, when things are kind of back to normal at home, that we get a couple of blankets and stuff, and we come out here and we have a picnic or something like that. Sounds like fun, right? Well, yeah. We should probably get back. I think Dad's waiting for us.
Stan Frederick Season 2 ended in a kind of bittersweet way. I knew that my goal with Stan at that point was to create some form of absolution for him, something that would finally make up for all the years of everything that he had done. And knowing what I know about Stan, and that being more than what was shown, I realized that by the end of Season 2 he hadn't exactly gotten to pay for everything. I knew that I wanted Season 3 to be the last season. I knew that this was going to be Stan's last stand, so to speak. The one thing that I had kept away from doing out of all of the Slenderverse iconography and such was a symbol. And the big reason why I had kept away from doing that was because if I were to do a symbol, I would want it to be for a good reason. And I think I found my favorite reason out of anything that I could have come up with was to make sure that the symbol represented the ending, or rather a lack of an ending. A form of incompletion, and that became what the season was about. The idea of incompletion, that there is no ending, that there is no satisfaction, that there is no absolution for a person who has done these things. The only form of absolution would be as if it never happened, and so that's what the story is about at the end of the day. I wanted a happy ending, I decided, and the only way to procure a happy ending with a character that's done as much as this character has was to make sure that what was done was undone. Adding Teacher to the story was a big part about keeping that theme intact, because he's supposed to be an outside force that's supposed to deliver the theme to you on a silver platter. He's supposed to be the character that kind of lets you know what he's thinking and what's going on with him, and why his inclusion in the series is so important to understanding Stan and his journey, I guess. The biggest thing I wanted to talk about in terms of this theme of endings was this little thing that I had done that I'm very, very stuck on, and something that really meant a lot to me, and that was the inclusion of music in the series, and how I decided to use music this time around. Last season it was just the one song. It was Get Your Shit Together by Pillow Fight, and that song was supposed to embody Stan's will to live and his drive and his determination to keep going. And I decided to kind of flip that on its head and still use the song, but also to cover it up with a bunch of other songs too that all had one thing in common. Every song that was used in the series has the word end in it at some point, and I kind of made a point of it to make sure that every time the word end was about to come out in the song, that the song would cut off. And yes, it happens every single time there is a song. You can go back into the series and you can look and find it every single time that there is supposed to be the word end in the song, that the song just abruptly cuts off. I'm happy to be done with Stan Frederick Season 3. It was definitely one of the toughest things to put together, and given the circumstances of its non-completion, I think that lends even more to the theme that just miraculously came about. The symbol now means more than one thing, and I'm really happy with that. I'm happy with this version of the series as it exists, and I wouldn't change a thing. I really wouldn't.